Hockenheim circuit in West Germany to the 33rd German Grand Prix, the 16th at Hockenheim, 129 kilometres. And already in practices, American Mike Baldwin's bike has locked up at high speed, thrown him off, and at that stage he was uninjured. But he was hit by Keeley and he will subsequently miss 10 races recovering from his injuries. So they form up on the grid with Wayne Gardner an enormous advantage over Christian Saron, Eddie Lawson. There's Saron beside Gardner on 2. Yatsushiro and Ron Haslam on the front row. Second row, McElnay, McKenzie, Momola, Keeley. Third row, Raymond Roche, Tadahiko Taira, Gustav Reiner, Burnett and Fabio Bigliotti. Away goes Ron Haslam again, darting off into the lead, but followed by Wayne Gardner and by Keeley and by Randy Momola. Christian Saron fades right back and is 13th, hidden back in the pack. A distant low haze reveals Haslam from Gardner, from Momola, Eddie Lawson ranging around the outside. Tyra's out wide on 21. Kevin Schwantz right at the tail of the field on 34. The first of the chicanes. Haslam, Gardner, Momola, McElnay ahead of Lawson. Designed to slow down the tremendously high speeds of this track, but it's still really a quick one, and Wayne Gardner now leads. Gardner, Haslam, Momola, McElnay, Lawson, Keeley. Again, Haslam, second place, Eddie Lawson third, Randy Momola fourth, Rob McElnay, Keeley, Christian Saron, Raymond Roche, Gustav Reiner, McKenzie, Taira, Burnett, Fabio Bigliotti and De Radiguez. Gardner, Haslam, Lawson, Momola, McElnay, Keeley, Saron. And a long way back among the privateers is Yatsushiro there on 16. Gardner building a nice lead. Lawson coming up into second place. Momola is still fourth. Taira, Burnett. Lap 2, Gardner 2 seconds in front now of Lawson, Haslam, Momola, sixth McElnay. This is why he's got a 2-second lead already. Watch him letting the suspension work. And working it so hard too, but confident. The bike working beautifully. And Eddie Lawson flowing around after him on this very high-speed circuit where at this stage the Hondas have a top speed advantage. And Gardner's using it beautifully. And Lawson wishes he had it, and Saron's third. Dives under Haslam. Setting sail for the distant corner, and now there and braking hard and squeezing it down on under brakes, then feeding the power on is the race leader Gardner. Saron, Haslam third and fourth. Lawson breaking away as Gardner's done from him. From Haslam now in third place, Saron fourth. And chasing them and catching them, gradually hauling them in is Randy Momola. Like number 3, Lucky Strike Yamaha. On lap 9, Gardner wonders where they are. If he can see that far back with a 3.7 second lead, it's Eddie Lawson in second place. Tremendous commitment to go fast around a circuit as fast as this one, where everything bar the chicanes is a really high-speed, high-commitment corner. And Wayne Gardner now, with electronic power valve trouble and the bike losing top-end power and speed, he trying to whip it along, but he knows it's inevitable that Lawson now will go past. The bike's usually, and it punches out of corners all right, it's all right in the mid-range, this problem with the porting. The porting is as it should be for the mid-range, but up high, noticeably down on power. Gardner now wondering if he can hang on. but to what extent he can hang on. Second place at the moment. Now Saron past, he's third. I'm wondering who's next. He breaks hard in the corners, trying to make up ground, riding harder, but that becomes fairly precarious. Haslam will threaten him next, followed by Momola. So third, very soon will become fifth. And that's only worth 6 points. And Tyra will follow Momola. As Haslam goes through, Sir Gardner goes to fourth. And Eddie Lawson just loves that lead that was given to him on a plate. Momola slipstreams, but then... And Saron now. He's up past Haslam. And the race leader doesn't really mind how he got there. He's in the right position as Saron looms onto Haslam. Honda versus Yamaha. Momola brings up another Yamaha. Further back it's Yatsushiro, Tyra, McElnay and Gardner. So all of them past now. And life not looking too good for Gardner, who sensibly keeps on riding. There may still be points in it for him, as Haslam, Saron and Momola are very busy, working their machines very hard, and Momola goes out after Saron and lurks past him. Gardner's in behind watching and just doesn't have the machine power and performance to do anything about it, to get amongst riders he knows he can mix it with. And this is how Eddie Lawson's working his bike. Look at the little index finger hauling on the front brake. They brake quite heavily into corners and then start to feed the power on as they let the brake off to keep the bike compressed. Plenty of footprint on the road. Tall, lanky Californian doing a very good job. As also now is Momola ahead of Haslam. Yatsushiro coming up. Yatsushiro not only catching this pair, but starting to be tempted to think that he can put on an extra spurt, as so often happens. Momola, the absolute arch professional in the 500 class. Shundi Yatsushiro from Japan. Hachi the B. And takes a very heavy tumble onto his hip, the side of his head, and then face and chest down on the track. A very heavy fall as his countryman Tyra goes by, and then Rob McElnay goes by. And that's a job for an Australian to fix. Dave Radar Cullen working in his team. Fell in Japan as well. He converts the high side to a heavy sideways fall, and he really does thump the track hard about 3 times. Headed for the front, but then he laid it down. Now would be feeling fairly dazed and disinterested in motorcycle racing, but in good hands. Last lap for race leader Lawson. Busy lapping some tail enders, but plenty of room on this racetrack. And Gardner hanging on. He's in 10th place. There's 1 point for 10th. Last year, the only race he didn't score in was the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, where he's hit on the grid, pitted, and then tooled around finally to finish about 14th out of the points, the only time he did all season. Lawson heading for 15. Very stylish rider. He keeps encouraging Rob McElnay and saying, once you've done it, you'll find it's easy. I didn't have the confidence either once to think I could win a Grand Prix. And now he's the reigning world champion, having won it also in 1984, sharing it with countryman Freddie Spencer in the alternate years as he heads to victory. To be followed by Randy Mamola scything his way through some of the lap bikes. Haslam following him through, and it's a very pleased Mamola who atones for 6th place in Spain in front of Haslam. Then Tadahiko Taira. Taira on 21. Marlboro Yamaha team running 3 factory bikes, and the third of them finishes Rob McElnay in 5. That bike's intermingling with a charge to the flag by this pair, the 2 yellow bikes, both Hondas, and it is Keeley on the V3, the older model, ahead of the V4 of Mackenzie, number 11. Then Roger Burnett and Gustav Reiner, 12 and 14. And Wayne Gardner whipping the bike home to 10th place to 1 point. But all the points count, and well worth getting. And the 2 Americans, Mamola and Lawson, finishing 13.3 seconds apart. Haslam very close to Mamola, 7 seconds back to Taira, McElnay, and 10th for Gardner.